If that spider's not moving, I'm gonna take as many shots as it takes to get the best photograph anybody's ever seen of that spider. I'm Thomas Shahan, and I take macro photographs of jumping spiders, insects, different arthropods in Oklahoma. Like, how did I start learning about this? It's all through the photography. People always kind of test out cameras, but I wanted to see things I never actually seen before. Late high school, I would have been 17, 18, and I started noticing jumping spiders in my backyard. And one day I got down low and I saw one looking right back at me. And when you see an arthropod, an arachnid, make eye contact with you, it's really oddly humbling. It's just as humbling as learning about like deep space or something. And then once I started noticing these jumping spiders that look at you in the backyard, it's like, why would I ever waste my time taking photographs of things that, you know, man has made? It's just nature holds true, intricate detail. They've been around a lot longer than us, and if I have faith in one animal on Earth, it's the jumping spiders. They're really pretty cool. I've never been bit by a spider. Handling them is safe. Relatively safe. Now, both black widow and brown recluse have relatively poor eyesight. They're just fumbling around in the dark. They barely know what's going on. When people do get bit, they surprise a spider, or it's direct pressure against the skin. So if you have a glove, and you just jam your hand in that glove, and there's a black widow in there, and the black widow is trapped directly against your skin, and there's pressure on the back of it, it's gonna sink its fangs into you, and you know, that'll be a problem. If a black widow is just crawling across the table and you very gently put your hand in front of it and it climbs just right up onto your hand's not any different than the ground is already walking on. It might just be a little bit warmer. They might actually just like that. The whole goal with me doing lots of this photographic work is like, people are afraid of spiders, but no spider in North America will kill you. If you're sick or old or young, you might be at risk. But if you're a healthy adult, you can't die from a spider bite. It's possible, but it probably won't happen. This is the homemade flash diffuser, and this is what makes almost like the look of the shots. This was from a goldfish box, so it's cardboard. It's lined with tin foil all on the inside in this kind of keystone, you know, trapezoid shape. And the reason for the shape and build and everything is specifically for how it'll appear in the eyes of a jumping spider. And given how big it is, if I have a spider this big right in front of the lens, this is a pretty big area of light. So I'm gonna get this really soft light. It doesn't really look good. I'm sure I could buy like a LumaQuest softbox or something, but I keep using this. It's a Pentax KX, and this is about a $400 body and a $20 garage sale find of a lens that's coming apart. But this is the reversing ring. Screw that onto the front element of the lens and mount it backwards. So once I've done that, I took it from a 50 millimeter, you know, normal standard lens, and once it's backwards, this is actually a really powerful, very, very sharp macro lens. Probably started around 2007. I started putting my close-up photographs of insects and spiders on Flickr, and then I was in Popular Photography. They ran a big spread. They had 2 pages of just jumping spider eyes, and it was all about, you know, the type of work I do. So I started kind of picking up some steam, and one day I got an email from a producer that used to be a page at NBC saying, hey, we're interested in maybe having you on the Today Show. I talked to them on the phone, and I think this is a Monday or Tuesday. I said, hey, could you be up here by Thursday? I was like, well, I'm in college, I've got classes and stuff, and I'm sure I can figure something out. They flew me up there. A guy picked me up in the airport with a Shahan sign. I got in a limo in a big black car, and they took me over to 30 Rock. They set me up in the hotel. And the very next morning, they had me on the Today Show, and they shipped me right back home on a plane, and that was it. Of course, I started getting more and more emails, and eventually led up to National Geographic contacting me about a year ago. And initially, I think they were a little bit suspicious of my photographs because they're kind of garishly colored. There's a lot of contrast. Like, I crop, I might over sharpen sometimes. And also with the focus stacking, I think they're a little bit suspicious if I was over editing them in Photoshop. Like, I'm like the Michael Bay of macro photography. Like, I take cheap shots. I make photographs that look good in thumbnails because I want people to click on it and I want to get a lot of people to see it so more and more people appreciate jumping spiders. And I kept on getting this run around from them, and eventually this December, in the December 2011 issue, they had 3 pages over me and jumping spiders in Oklahoma. I don't think I've ever taken a successful shot with somebody else around. Not that I need to be alone, it's just like, it's not fun for somebody else just to watch me like lay on the ground for half an hour. Focus stack is an extended depth of field on basically the same shot. That's the thing. Eyes have to be sharp, like when you're taking a portrait of somebody. If it's like, oh, it's focused well, it's like, yeah, I can see their nose, but their eyes are just completely out of focus. It's a worthless photograph. But let's say you have a photograph where one's focused on the eyes and one's photographed on the nose, and they're the exact same shot. If you can put those together, you have both in focus, and you still have that awesome blurry background. Like, often I'll have you laying like face down on the ground, like in this position for hours. I like looking up into the face of a spider or insect, because usually when we see insects and spiders, we're looking down at them. You have this entomological view of, they're tiny, they're small, they're insects, they're spiders. When you're looking up into their face, it's almost this like propagandistic poster look of, they're more important than you, they're taller than you, the spider's looking down on you. I don't think I've ever noticed this like cave right here because I'm always looking down, like, anything I've gathered from all this, it's just a deeper understanding and like personal reverence for arthropods. I'm not really care about photography that much. This is just a vehicle for getting the best possible representations and communicating this inherent beauty of the spiders. I'm not a religious guy. I don't necessarily believe in God or any other gods or anything, but I find contentment and happiness in nature, and the contentment I get is from showing other people this kind of stuff, because you guys may not have seen, the face of a Phidippus mysticeus jumping spider, but once you've seen it, you're like, wow, that's in Oklahoma? In Oklahoma, in your own backyard, you have these really wildly ornate, beautiful animals that lots of people have never actually seen. And that's the whole goal for photography for me. I want to show other people what you physically cannot see with your eyes.